She got her own house. She got her own house. She got her own house.
Hey NACA family, welcome back to part 2. I hope that you guys got a chance to catch part 1. If not, I definitely suggest that you go and watch that video because I don't want you to miss out on any of the valuable information. This video is going to be tips 6 through 10, so let's get into it. Tip number 6, stay organized and keep your NACA files handy at all times. So I was in this scenario where during my Achieve the Dream event, I needed to upload a couple of things and send it to my counselor right then and there on the spot. Had I not had access to my NACA files, I would have been not qualified conditions because the things that he needed were extremely important, okay? So always keep things handy, whether it's on your personal laptop or you connect to a Google Drive or a thumb drive or something. Like, don't have stuff on your work computer. You know, don't just take your appointment from a place where you're not having access to your files. Even whenever they start having face-to-face appointments again, I don't know if they're going to do that or not, but in the event that they do have face-to-face appointments again, I would recommend even taking your laptop with you to your appointment, or maybe your phone with your access to your Google Drive on it or whatever. Just make sure that you have the capacity or the ability to upload things and send it to your counselor right then and there on the spot. But it's so much easier to just go through the program if you upload all of your bank statements here, if you upload all of your LOEs here, if you upload all of your loan information there. Like, just make sure you're staying as organized as possible and you're keeping all of your information into one place, and you're not going into an appointment without having access to all of your information at your fingertips that could be requested of you, okay? Tip number 7, join the NACA Facebook groups. All you need to do is go to Facebook, search in the groups under NACA, and so many different groups will pop up, okay? Depending on what stage of the process you're in, they have groups for just general NACA. They have the unofficial NACA group. They have the official NACA group. They have groups specific to your city and state that you're in, or maybe just your state, depending on how big it is. They have, if you're looking for, if you're in the process of the housing search, they have special Facebook groups for that. So join whatever groups that you need to, because I'm not going to lie to you guys, the only reason I was able to get qualified on my first try was because of the knowledge that I gained from reading through those Facebook groups almost every single day. Like, I'm not joking. The importance of joining those groups. Pretty much any situation that could come up, someone in one of those groups has experienced it and they told you how the process was solved. So before you go into anything blind, search up, you know, what if I have a bankruptcy in the Facebook group, or what if I have a late payment in the past 2 years, or what if I'm separated but still legally married. Like, go ahead and search all of this stuff up specific to your situation so that you'll know how to address it on the front end so that it doesn't come back as a condition. So like I said, just go to Facebook, search in the groups search field, and pull up all the NACA groups and join as many as you would like. Tip number 8. I kind of hinted at it in part 1, but it's to call constantly to see if there's been a cancellation at your office and you can get seen sooner. And not only that, I would suggest that you proactively call, especially once it gets around 30 to 45 days out from your intake appointment, just to make sure that the counselor that you're scheduled to be seen with is even still employed with NACA, okay? So go ahead and make sure that you stay on top of being seen. The closer it gets to your appointment, the more that I would suggest you call. Don't let them make you feel guilty for calling, because I know I called one time and they were like, well, we see that you just called, so how can we help? Yes, you're right. I did just call yesterday, but I want to make sure that the information that I got was valid, and I'm calling again to re-verify, okay? So go ahead and just keep calling, stay on top of it, see if there's been a cancellation, if you can be seen, and to make sure that your counselor is even still employed with NACA. If you have the opportunity to be seen by a remote counselor, I would suggest you request that. I think that that is the best way to go. I have had, or should I say, I have read positive experiences of people that are working with MCs in the Charlotte office. I think that the MCs in the local offices are just so overworked, okay, that it's just hard for them to really keep their head above water. I don't believe that they are intentionally ignoring people. I just believe that their caseload is too high. So if you can, on the front end, request an appointment with a remote counselor, I would suggest that you do that, especially considering that you have to call anyway to schedule an appointment and to get your appointment confirmation and your appointment verified. Go ahead when you call to make that initial appointment now. See if you can request a remote counselor on the front end. But even still with that, continuously call to see if you can be seen earlier if you don't like the date of your intake appointment. Again, that's if you are ready to be seen. Some people are enjoying the fact that their appointment is 4 or 5 or 6 months out because it's giving them time to save their payment shock, or it's giving them time to get their minimum required funds, or it's giving them time to clean up their credit, or it's giving them time to have other things fall off of their credit, or to request documents that they need to get their hands on. So if it makes sense for you to be seen earlier, and if you are ready to be seen earlier, go ahead and stay on top of calling, and requesting to be seen earlier. Tip number 9, get you a NACA knowledgeable realtor. And I say that to say, I know a lot of people want to use their brother-in-law, their best friend, whatever, but guys, get you a NACA knowledgeable realtor. And I know a lot of realtors won't even take you on until you get to the point where you are actually NACA qualified. But now that the qualification is only 90 days instead of 6 months, the chances of you finding a house in this market in 90 days seem almost impossible. So if you get you a NACA qualified or a NACA knowledgeable realtor, they may be able to use their existing relationships inside of NACA to get you resubmitted and requalified faster, okay? That is definitely my plan. That's why when I researched realtors, I decided to go with my realtor who's been doing NACA for a long time. She has brought instant value to my process. As I mentioned in one of my previous videos, my MC, after I was already qualified, okay, I wasn't even asking for anything to be done before being qualified. I thought that I would at least get a call back or an email back because I was already qualified. He wouldn't even respond to me, but he responded to my realtor because he and her are working together on multiple clients, and so they already have an existing relationship. So when you're going into this process, go ahead and open your mind to working with someone that knows the value of NACA, that has been around NACA for a very long time, okay? It's not mandatory, but it's something to help you get through the process sooner. Last but not least, tip number 10. I would have to say this is definitely the most important tip. If I could stress this over and over and over, I would. Start looking for ways to save immediately, okay? Don't wait until after you've had the home buyers workshop to start trying to get yourself together. Go ahead and start looking at ways to either save money, reduce your debt, or increase your affordability. So I know that not everyone is in a position to get a second job. I know that I personally can't get a second job, so I had to get creative. So what I did was, and let me just say a disclaimer, I'm not recommending that people do this, but what I personally decided to do was to stop contributing to my 401k as well as my HSA so that I can have increased income every month coming into my household, so that way it would increase my affordability. If you are able to, go ahead and start making extra payments to pay off debt. That can count towards your payment shock. So that is viewed very highly by NACA, that you are taking your extra income instead of saving it and paying down debt. In return, that's going to increase your affordability amount. If you're looking for ways to get MRFs, like I know that the tax season has already passed. If you've already gotten your stimulus checks, you've already gotten your income tax checks and that money has gone to other things, and you're still looking for ways to get your MRF, I have a link. I'm going to link it in the description. This girl who has helped me, I don't know her. I'm not being paid to say this or anything. She has just helped me make extra money for years. Her name is Lovely LaShawn on YouTube. I definitely recommend that you guys check her out. She's like the side hustle queen of little things that you can do here and there when you got some free time, for you to go ahead and get some extra money in your pocket working from home. It doesn't require you to, go out and get a second job. So just keep that in mind if you're looking to increase your income or pay off debt, or increase your affordability. So guys, I hope that you have enjoyed this video. I hope that these 10 tips have been helpful. I have lived by all of these 10 things that I just shared with you, and I was qualified on my very first try through NACA, okay? So please, 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 if you have any other tips that helped you get qualified sooner, or things that I left out in this video, please jump down in the comments. Let's talk about it. Go ahead and like this video and subscribe. It takes a village. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.